But so what's going on next heat, mate?
All right, coming up next is we have PLC, Mike Stewart, Gillermo, Cobo, and Genesis Reyes. So, Ben,
Hello.
you got the mic, so any shout-outs or anything you want to say before we forget?
I want to thank my mother, who's in England at the moment. I spent a couple of days with her before I came here, which was amazing.
Is that where she lives?
Yeah, she moved back over to England, which was really good. I'm stoked that she did it, and she's really happy there. And
So you
I've got
can
a good little base too now in
exactly,
Europe. So, yeah.
exactly. That's what Winnie's doing. He's setting up a little base. So it seems like Europe is like a good spot to do.
Well, you know, there's so many good waves over here.
Yeah.
There really is. Like, I never really assumed that there were bigger waves in Europe, and it's not really defined on the map. Like, you think about Hawaii, you think about Australia, you know, you think about all those places, but actually there's a lot of good waves here.
Yeah.
A lot. And yeah. But thanks everyone for giving me the chance to speak and gnaw your ear off. And anyway, I'm handing it over to Greg Taylor. So thanks, Manny.
You got it, Ben. I'll
Cheers,
see
mate.
you, and good luck in your heat. You're coming
Thanks,
up in, there you are, Heat 7, Magna Oliveira, Ben Player. Mike Stewart was just on a wave. Mitch Rollins and Adam Cabrera.
Yes, that's right. Thank you, mate.
All right, good luck out there, brother. All right, coming back into the hot seat, Greg Taylor. And look at this, PLC on left, and nice backflip right there from PLC. Finds another inside section, goes for a roll through the lip. And PLC, look at this wave exchange going on outside. All right, so let's bring everybody up to speed. Welcome again. This is the IBA 2011 NMD Pride Stealth Fronton Pro, and out the back in blue. Whoa, getting held up a little bit. It was Genesis Reyes, but pulls off that little air on the inside. And brought to you by Grand Flavor, our webcast partners. So here we are in heat number 5 of the leaderboard rounds, round number 1, out in the water. In the white jersey, Mike Stewart. In red, PLC, Pierre-Louis Costa from France. In yellow, from Spain, Gillermo Cobo. And in blue, the local rider, Genesis Reyes. And Genesis, he's I wouldn't doubt that he's like 7 feet tall.
I think he's about 9 feet, Manny. He's the biggest man I've ever met. But he is one of the founding surfers of El Fronton. When it was first surfed, he was the man. Guys like Genesis and Ure Martinez.
Alexis Diaz.
Diaz. These were the founding fathers of Fronton. These were the guys that first surfed it when it was waves of consequence, and they've been doing it for 10, 15 years. So wow.
What goes through your mind when you see a wave like this, when it's big and massive, and you're the first one to go out there and do it? You have to be on a different level.
Yeah, look, these guys, as I said, blessed to have this wave in their backyard. But yeah, look, to be the first one to take this one when it was big, you'd have to be a brave man. But look, how exciting is that? You've Jeff Hub. All the pressure's on him. Everybody's chasing him, and he delivered. He really delivered. But here's the other man. Look at this guy knows how to find a section, and he's coming across.
Okay, here he comes to the inside section. Backflip again. BLC. He is the backflip maniac. He knows when, how, and where to do backflips. He can do backflips at the snap of a finger. PLC. He is on Jeff Hubbard's tail for a world title.
Yeah, as we were saying, man, in last heat. So everybody's watching. All the pressure's on those two, really. They're the two guys who are in the box position to win the world title. So keep in mind that number 1 and number 2 in the world rankings. This is the final event. The winner will almost win the world title. But here's Pierre. Look, just perfectly times that little section, flips it round, and said he flips better than anyone in the world. And that's a good solid start. Only a 3.75 for Pierre for that wave, but he jumps into first place. But as I said, how exciting is this? Last week we had Jeff Hubbard. All the pressure on. He nailed it. He got through with a win.
Yep.
Second, here we go. Next heat, Pierre-Louis Costes. He's the man chasing. He's got all the momentum. The last 3 events, he won Puerto Rico. He won Azores, then he won the ISA games last week here in.
He is on fire right now. I mean, PLC, he's got there's something going on. He's got the feeling, he's got the rhythm, and he's feeling it. And right now, he's feeling the first place lead right now, even though we're just 5 minutes in. Oh, nice air invert right there from a rider in blue. Can he get in front of that whitewash?
Genesis, no. If he can't get in front of that whitewash, nobody can.
No.
So, look, Genesis, he's great. Like he was one of the invitees of last year's exhibition event at Fronton. It made it all the way to the semi-finals. So very talented. When the waves get big, gets very interesting. But back to, said the man of the moment is Pierre Costes. Second in the world title race. You know, he's won his last 3 events coming to this one. If he can win this, Jeff Hubbard does not make the final. Pierre is our new world champion. So here's some highlights from the Puerto Rico event. And look, interesting, Pierre actually lost his first heat. Round 1, heat 1, he got beat. And then he knew what he had to do, and then he went on undefeated throughout the rest of the series and won, you know, the Grand Slam, put himself in contention. And look at that now, the sweet taste of victory.
That was very emotional for him because that was his first Grand Slam Series event win. So he was very amped, and it just got him that much closer to a possible world title on the 2011 IBA World Tour. So definitely on the hunt for a world title. The situation, the scenario for him to become a world title, what has to happen?
Basically, he has to finish 2 places ahead of Jeff Hubbard. So basically, if Jeff gets knocked out in the semis, Pierre has to win. Or if Jeff gets knocked out in round 4, he has to make it through to the semis. So basically, that's how it works. So yeah, very, very possible. And said there's just so many talented riders here, especially once we go to man on man. You know, anything can happen.
Exactly.
And, you know, it only takes a couple of freak waves or a freak move by one of these world-class riders.
Yes.
But look, we're all talking about Pierre. It's such a fascinating world title chase. But there's another man in the water in white, a guy you might have heard of, Mike Stewart. He has got it all to play for. This guy is the grandfather of bodyboarding, the legend of the sport, an 11-time world champion.
He's been around from day number 1.
Yeah.
Back in 1971 when Tom Morey invented the bodyboard 40 years ago, Mike Stewart was right there ready to take on this new fun way of riding a wave. And guess what? It's landed him, you know, 40 years of fun.
Yeah, but look, he finds himself in the unusual position that he may not qualify for next year's World Tour.
Yes, very
We've all
unfortunate.
spoken about the scenarios. You need to finish in the top 16 of this year's Grand Slam, plus we take the top 8 riders from the Global Qualifying Series. We've spoken about that. They're finalised. As for Mike Stewart, he's currently in 19th position. He is really up against it just to re-qualify. Here he is now. Let's see what he's got, Manny.
All right, full speed ahead, and see just too low on the wave to come up and hit that section. If you're going full speed ahead on the face of the wave and you see a section coming at you, it's coming at you twice as fast. So not only you have to think quickly, but you also have to move quickly to get into those right positions to hit the lip.
For sure, Manny. But look, as I said, back to Mike Stewart. He needs to at least make the quarters of this event to get himself through for next year's World Tour. And I think we all want him there. There's no doubt about that. But look, you see the Red Bull ski here collecting, I guess
don't know
it's
what
the
they're doing over
co-pilot. But here we have
PLC dropping in, coming around the section, looking for a section.
Oh.
And again, he's going full speed ahead. The section is coming at him twice as fast, and he went for a backflip, but it wasn't able to put that together.
No, unfortunately not for Pierre. The section was there, but it sort of came at him too hard and too fast. So he's still in first position, 9.25. The local wildcard, Genesis Reyes, he's in second place. And no, he's doing well. Mike Stewart said he's currently in third. And, you know, he's got on the right hand of him, and let's see what he can do.
All right, Mike Stewart, slow drop in, but takes off and releases the rail and gets all the speed off the bottom. Goes for a card reverse off the top. I thought he was done, but he's actually kicking in front of that whitewash. And I don't know how he pulled that off.
Yeah, just not in the groove at the moment. I'm sure Mike's not feeling the pressure because he said he's one of the most seasoned campaigners in the sport of bodyboarding. But here's the wave again. It was all a bit slow, and he got up there and tried to bank a reverse off there.
Look at that, though. That looked pretty nice for a photograph.
Yeah, but he dug the tail in and did well to rip it round, really. You can see he's a bit of bubble trouble there, and until he kicks through. Let's see what the judges say. It looks like a 2.5 for Mike for that wave. He's currently in third position. Still 20 minutes to go, Manny, so very early on. But we haven't spoken about the current fourth place is Gillermo Cobo, from Spain. He's one of the current world's top 24. Unfortunately, he cannot qualify for next year. He's out.
Oh,
so he's back to the qualifying series. But here's the local man, Reyes.
Oh, pulling in that backdoor section, really low on the wave. I think as soon as the wave broke, the lip was like right next to him. That was pretty intense drop in right there from Hennessy's. Hennessy's is one of those guys, Ben Blair called it out. He's like, crazy man, was here from the beginning and just pulls into big fat barrels for fun. So
Yeah.
Hennessy's Reyes is, comes into us at 12 feet, 8 inches tall, probably one of the tallest bodyboarders on the in the event. Okay, he's not that tall, but he's huge. He's tall, guys. And we'll try to get Sasha Specker to stand next to him just so you guys can understand how tall this guy is. And you know what? He's always smiling. You know, I say that about every bodyboarder because they're all humble. They're all good people, and they're I don't know, they're all cool, man.
Yeah, mate. Look, we've got a great little subculture here in the sport of bodyboarding, and I said you hit the nail on the head. Very humble, but very professional people. It says you look at these guys, especially the top 24 in the world. They're true professionals. They're true athletes, and they dedicate their life to this, and it's their job, and they love it. And that's why they're always smiling. They're very grateful for the opportunity that they have to pursue their passion, and now to do it in front of a global audience. And with world titles on the line, increasing prize money on the line, it's of course I'd be smiling too, Manny.
Yeah. I mean, these guys are number one. They're having a good time, but once you get out in the water to compete, it's a different mentality out there. I mean, you got wave priority, which means you cannot catch a wave if somebody before you who is waiting for a wave, has been out there longer, calls you off. I mean, there's a lot of little strategies going on out there, and you got to be able to pull off these big moves because that's where the level of bodyboarding is at right now. Doing backflips, doing big air roll spins when the wave is calling for it.
Yeah.
You got to be able to pull them off.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of free surfers out there, Manny, who get the shots every now and again, and but they don't realise how talented these guys are until they put themselves in competition against them. And yes, everyone can hit a good section, once a month and get the photo, but these guys have to do it under the pressure cooker situation against the top guys in the world at the heaviest waves in the world. It's just another level, and it's really, again, time after time we put wild cards in who are renowned as some of the best free surfers in the world, and they just don't even stand up to these guys. And but here we have up and riding Gillermo Cobo, not much on offer for the Spaniard.
Wait a second. We thought there was nothing there from our camera view, and then all of a sudden this giant section forms up on the inside, and unfortunately Cobo didn't have enough speed to get into it, but now he's got to duck under this whitewash. We talked about it. Whitewash is very powerful out there, and you do not want to be on the inside section. He's going to get pushed in a little bit, maybe even onto the reef. But a lot of water moving out there at El Fronton. Again, welcome everybody. Manny V and Greg Taylor coming to you live from the north side of Gran Canaria, just on the outskirts of Galdar, also known as the Royal City. This is the NMD Pride Stealth Fronton Pro, brought to you by Grand Flavor, and we are halfway through round number 1 of the main event. Out in the water currently is heat number 5, PLC in red, Mike Stewart in white, Gillermo Cobo in yellow, and Hennessy's Reyes in blues. And this is where we're at 60 minutes and 13 seconds remaining.
Yeah, look, Pierre still leading. He's in first position. Gillermo Cobo, he's jumped into, I didn't recall seeing the Gillermo Cobo's second wave as 6.5, Manny, but he's jumped into second place, and he needs a 2.75 to take the lead, so that's great performance for Gillermo. And Hennessy's Reyes, he's sitting in third position, said he's capable of anything. When these waves get bigger, I'm sure he's going to really have a say in proceedings. And Mike Stewart, we've spoken about how much he's on the line for Mike. He's currently in fourth place. He needs a 5.66 to jump into second, a 6.75 into first. But it's all ahead of Mike. It's still 15 minutes to go, but he wouldn't want to start this leaderboard rounds with a fourth place. That really just builds the pressure. Then he doesn't want that.
No. One more time, we'll go through the leaderboard round system. Just after this, we got Shaggy downstairs with the winner of the last heat. Shaggy, where you at?
Hey guys, I'm down here with Jeff Hubbard, the winner of the last heat. Congratulations, Jeff.
Thanks, Shaggy. Yeah, just pretty stoked to get through that first round and get to 6 points. Yeah, pretty hectic, in this pressure cooker situation here, finals, and all this crazy stuff going on here at Fronton. So yeah, I was psyched. Come out with the win.
Well, Gillermo's won his heat. You've won your heat. Now it's just Ryan and Pierre left to win their heats to keep it all even.
Yeah.
What I was going to say was, talk about that big double elbow ice cream scoop to backflip out.
Yeah, that was a pretty intense wave because I was in first, and then Diego and Jason were ripping, and they just needed kind of small scores at that stage. And Jason caught the first wave of the set, and then Diego was out the back and had first priority, and he ducked over the wave. He didn't go, and so I just turned around and scooped real quick and got barreled, and then just came out and just jammed as big of ARS as I could, or backflip. I was pretty amped that I landed it and just, yeah, got me a good score, solid enough to keep me in first.
And there you go, straight into first. 6 points, ching ching. Congratulations, and a little shout out to Kauai and Hawaii.
Just want to say hi to all my family that's watching back home. Love you guys. Yeah, just thank you guys for all the support, and all my friends and family and God. Love you guys.
Back to you guys up there somewhere.
Shaggy, we're up here on the cliff, up in the commentator's booth. So there you go. Jeff Hubbard mentioned 6 points. Greg, give us the rundown, the first 3 rounds of the leaderboard system.
Yeah, look, like I said, we've got the whole concept of this structure. We've got a board going.
Oh, no, somebody lost their board.
He'll have to swim in and collect that.
Looks like blue.
That's not great. Hennessy's, yeah. So the leaderboard system, Manny, we have 3 rounds, and each competitor surfs 3 times, one time per round. It's a leaderboard system, so they collect points as they go along, and then at the end of the 3 rounds, the top 16 of 32 progress into round 4. Then it goes man on man. But heat by heat, if you come first, you get 6 points. If you come second, you get 4 points. If you come third, it's 2 points, and fourth will only get you 1 point. What we've seen over the year is after the 3 rounds, you need at least 10 points, if not 11 points, out of those 3 collective scores to progress on to the top 16. And that's what all the riders, they do the maths, they work out what they need to do. But if you think about it, you need to average, 2 seconds and a third probably, is about the cutoff. But at least you want to be averaging a second place finish over the 3 rounds, and you progress through to the man-on-man heat. So that's where we're at. But at the moment, the man in the world number 2, chasing the world title, Pierre Costes, he's in first place. He's got a 10.25. But the other end of the equation, you've got Mike Stewart in fourth, the Hawaiian, the legend. He is on the other end of the spectrum. He's not chasing the world title. He's chasing for survival in the world tour. And for him to survive, he really needs to make the quarterfinals of this event. And to do that, at first he's got to progress through the leaderboard stage. He doesn't want to start with a 1 point, hence 4th place in the first round, because then he basically needs to at least win another heat and come second in the other. Here you can see footage of the local man.
Sorry, I'm watching the screen as everybody else, and the intensity on just paddling out. You're hovering inches above the reef, and the water, when it sucks out, you're getting sucked down into that keyhole with it, and that was a pretty cool view right there. So there you go. Leaderboard rounds, round number 1, out in the water, heat number 5, and it is yellow. Gillermo Cobo on this one.
Oh, I just didn't present him the section he wanted. You've got Pierre asking for a time update there from the judges.
Yeah, during Jeff Hubbard's interview, we saw PLC come out of a big backflip on that left, and we'll see if we can see that again. Check this out. The next heat coming up, Dave Winchester in red, Jake Stone in white, Thomas Rigby in yellow, and Silvano Lorenco from Portugal in the blue jersey. These guys are coming up next. We got 11 minutes and 22 seconds remaining in the heat out in the water.
Yeah, no, look, Manny, but they said it's a lot of pressure on this heat. It said you've got Pierre needs to progress through to keep himself in title contention. Then you've got Mike Stewart at the other end. So look, very interesting, but a pretty slow heat to be fair. The waves have slowed down a little bit, but the exciting thing is the forecast is looking promising for the back end of the contest window. But Mike Stewart's having a look at this set, and it's
man! If he comes out of that, I will slap you on the booty. There's no way that is I don't know how he could have made that out of that, because he dropped into it vertically. But you know what? It's Mike Stewart. If anybody was going to be able to pull it off, it would have been him. So unreal. Mike Stewart. You know what?
Put it all on the line, Manny. He has to.
Yes.
And we skim over how shallow it is out there. And I said earlier let's have a look. He pulls. It did open up, and he's in there.
It was the drop. The drop just he
lost all his speed, I think. Wow, so he just isn't there.
We're still looking at the screen.
Yeah,
and thinking he's going to come out, even though we know he didn't.
But we're just hoping again that maybe the second time we might get a different scenario. But Yeah, no, it is so shallow out there. We had, after the first heat, Eda Luciano from Brazil. He had knocked his head. He had a big swollen eye, and that was at high tide. The tide's dropping now, so we all look at these guys and they're doing their flips and their ARSs and all these things, and it's great to watch. But we forget underneath them's 1 to 2 foot of water and razor sharp reef. So hats go off to these guys, and but it's all on the line. It's just going to be interesting as the contest progresses. We're going to get to the point where world title's going to be decided, and it's going to happen here in these dangerous super shallow waves, and the waves are going to get bigger. And once that happens, but here's Mike Stewart picking off a small inside one.
All right, Mike Stewart, nice clean bottom turn on that one. Comes off the bottom, but not much there forming up for him, so he's making his way back out. So Mike Stewart, and he's in his face, a big backflip, almost getting ran over by PLC, Pierre-Louis Costa, but PLC digs a rail right before. Look at this paddle battle out the back. We know there's a priority system going, and the first one out will be priority over the other, and that is Mike Stewart, who knows that and makes a paddle battle for the outside peak. And Mike Stewart, I think, will retain the next priority system. Look at this. Hold on. We're going to wait. And the birds are in for it, too. No, it looks like Mike Stewart and PLC.
Well, PLC's powered on. Very interesting, man. I know, just to explain to the viewers, what we've got there is a priority system. So first out in the lineup, you join a queue for priority for waves. And so that's why you saw Pierre and Mike Stewart.
Look at this. Yellow, tuck it in. Oh, spit with the spit coming out of that wave. Big barrel from behind the pocket. Gillermo Cobo, big barrel from the back. He totally backdoored that big barrel and was able to come out with a big old spit on the end of that wave. So Gillermo Cobo with a big barrel.
Yeah, look, he only needs a 3.75 to jump into first place, push Pierre back to second. We'll have to go have a word to the judges if he doesn't get that many, because that was a very nice wave. So Gillermo Cobo, the local man, he basically qualified. Let's have a look at this again, man. Look at it open up.
Oh, big backdoor barreling section in there. Just holds up tight, maintains his rail mid-face, and then he knows that it's going to stay open, so he stays in that area. And look at this spit just coming up right behind him, almost like a fire hose.
Oh, look, we forget, man. It gets a little bit quiet, and we think, it's not the best conditions. But let's have a look at Pierre here. Nothing for Pierre on offer, unfortunately. But, yeah, a little bit slow. You get 5 minutes of not a lot of activity. Woo. And then you get Gillermo Cobo pick off a big barreling set like that. It gets a 7.0 for that. Bang, straight into first place. Gillermo Cobo, 13.5 combined score. Now Pierre needs that 8.0 to jump into first. Mike Stewart needs a 9.25 to jump into first. Genesis Reyes does need a 9.25. Mike Stewart, he's in combo land. It's not good to see, but 7 minutes to go, so let's see what Mike can do. But there we have him just rolling out of that nice section. Come on, Mike, let's see what you've got, mate. We need a 7.75 to jump back into second, but I think he's only replacing a 1.4, so he knows how to build scores. I'm sure he'll score that, but so at the moment, that's Mike Stewart, but the man leading at the moment is Gillermo Cobo. From Canary Island, look, another smiling assassin.
Yes, Guillermo Cobo. Yeah, Ben Player was actually talking about him, and he saw him in Europe, and he was backflipping, doing big airs and doing big rolls. And guys like this haven't had the opportunity to go out there and show what they really have. And Guillermo Cobo, he's one of those guys that can stay with the crew and do all these things, but it's just a matter of luck, wave selection, and right now that big barrel helped him out. Look at that.
Look at that, Jake Stone. He's one of the characters of the sport, and it's great to see. Again, he's only 21 years of age, a real genuine star of the sport. But look, he's just here to, said he's secured himself a place in next year's World Tour. Unfortunately, can't win this year's World Tour. He's sitting there with Tom Rigby, who's just qualified. So, a couple of Australians, both from Queensland in Australia. Jake now lives in WA, but born and raised in the sunny coast. And look, he's one of the more exciting riders on tour, and we saw in Union Island what he's capable of. And let's see what he meant. But I can't wait to see him get out there, hit a few lips, and he can flip, and ARS is as good as anyone. So but who's that in the?
I was talking to a couple of locals, but check this out. You know what? These guys are waiting, and we will be back right after this.
the advert for one of the event sponsors, Manny, Pride Bodyboards, and their man is in the water at the moment, the superstar Pierre Louis Costes. And look, again, thank you to all the major sponsors. Pride's the naming sponsor of the event, along with NMD and Stealth, and big thank you for the support they're showing. And it's great to see the industry getting behind the World Tour, because we've had such a successful year, and what's going to take us to that next level, Manny, is that sort of support. And again, hats off to NMD, Pride and Stealth. And let's not forget the media partner, Grand Flavour, come on with great level of support, and they've decked out the commentary team. And even our South African friend, Shaggy, he's brewed up all the way in his new gear. And actually, Shaggy could not be more grateful. He arrived only 2 days ago without his luggage.
Yeah.
He got lost in transit, and he was a bit of a devastated man. But then David Winchester arrived with a bag of goodies and said, here you go, Shaggy. And he's decked out. Gillermo, Cobo, another section coming.
Oh, couldn't get back into that section, into that wave to hit that section. So Gillermo pulls out on that one. But he's sitting all right now in first place with 3 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. Gillermo Cobo leading the charge. But look at this, in red, big backflip, of course, from the French phenom, PLC, Pierre-Louis Coste. He is on a fire, but
needs an 8, Manny.
He needs that 8. I don't know if that's going to do it, but he's so focused. He really wants a world title, and he wants it this year.
Yeah,
so Jeff Hubbard cannot let his guard down.
Nah, look, spot on. I've been catching up with Pierre a bit over the last few days, and he's really focused, and he's openly stated he's going to do whatever it takes to win. At the moment, he's in second place, a solid start, and you'll see the replay here. It was a good set. He got up there, and great flip. Anyone's book. And the sad thing is, anyone else done that in the world, you'd be blowing up. It's just what you come to expect from Pierre.
No, you're
he
right.
has to be careful though, Manny. And we spoke about the judges talking about variety of moves. We really want to see the full repertoire. We saw earlier Jared Houston do backflip, the ARS, the invert, doing all the moves. He did the big reverse air. And he was scored for that. Pierre just got a 7.5 for that, which is a great score. Not enough to move him into first. But what the judges are looking for is variety of moves within the heat. Show the versatility of your riding. So Pierre is one of the best flippers in the world. But I think to win this world title, man, he's going to have to pull out his other tricks. He's got plenty of other tricks. He can ARS, he can air reverse, he can air forward, he can do everything else. But in the back of his head.
You know what? Sorry to interrupt, but he is one of those riders that has been very focused, and he's trying almost on every other free session here at Fronton to complete the first ever double backflip. So if there's a wave on the planet that wave can be completed, it is here at El Fronton, and it would be amazing to see that live and in this competition. Oh my! A big air roll spin out the back. Guillermo Cobo almost pulls off a big move, but lands on the other side of the wave and will not be scored for a completed move. But again, PLC, here we go. PLC, as you said, variety, he can do it. Double backflip is a huge possibility for PLC to do in this event at this wave. And you just saw him messing around right now on a double roll on the inside.
Look, imagine that, man. Imagine Pierre winning the world title with a double backflip in the semi-final.
Can you believe? Can you imagine?
But you just saw a double roll there, a double roll attempt. And in the next set, we have Jake Stone, who's also been trying those all year and has landed a few in free surfing conditions. So anything could happen. And again, this wave creates so many ramps and opportunities. Anything can happen. And this way, you might start seeing some really revolutionary moves, such as that. It was only a couple of years ago we were getting excited about the backflip, or even the old El Rolo, when just how that was executed. But now it's going to that next level, and it's going to be exciting to watch, because it's only a matter of time before it becomes a consistent part of the World Tour.
You mentioned it earlier that this area, Gran Canaria Islands, is absolutely producing some world-class competitors and wave riders. So it's going to be very interesting to see in the coming years who's going to come out of here. And Guillermo Cobo going for that, not much there, but
I didn't realize he was so young, man. He's one of the local men, and here's Mike with he can see the frustration. Mike throws his board. He needs an 8.0 just to jump into second. He's not even going to. Well, if he betters a 2.5, I think if he gets about a 3.5. Well, let's stop talking about it, because the scores are dropping. He got a 1.05 for that last wave. Unfortunately, the buzzer has gone. Mike Stewart finished 4th. the Hawaiian, the legend of the sport. He's up against it now. He needs a quarterfinal berth at least to qualify for next year's World Tour. He starts with a fourth. The
That's not
pressure's
gonna help him.
really on. It's not going to help.
Not at all.
And so, but then in third place, the local wild card, Genesis Reyes. He started strongly, but just couldn't, after he lost his board, just didn't regather. Pierre Louis Costes, he starts with a second. It's not the best start, but he'd be happy with that. It's a solid start, 4 points. He's still in contention. But the local, Gillermo Cobo, he was a top 24. He's had a quiet year, but he's back at his home break, and he's very happy. He's busting it out. He takes out that heat, and that's great to see. And congratulations to Gillermo Cobo.